Hey, how's it going everybody? Trader Main here, back from Dubai, your favorite Make-A-Wish kid, here to talk about some altcoins with another video in our altcoin series. So I'm back home now, it's raining outside, it's cold, it's ugly, I'm no longer sitting by the beach drinking pina coladas, so I couldn't be happier. All jokes aside, I am happy to be home and get back in the groove of things. Market's been going crazy, Bitcoin made a new all-time high, Ethereum made a new all-time high, altcoins are pumping, lots to talk about, so I'm excited to be kind of back in the studio. I call it a studio, it's really just a desk to kind of share some charts with you guys and just kind of talk about what's going on in the market. What we're going to be talking about today is the Dogecoin phenomena. So obviously we've seen Dogecoin go absolutely nuts over the last year plus. Elon Musk tweeting about it, the price going absolutely insane, and then obviously kind of the knockoffs and clones going nuts. So I kind of want to just talk about what I think about these coins in general, and obviously we'll go over to the charts and we can talk about what you can actually do to potentially make some money trading these hype meme coins. I do think you have to take some of the stuff you see online with a grain of salt, where it's like, oh, if you would have just put in $1,000 into Shiba Inu a year ago, you would be a multi-billionaire, when in reality, let's be honest, if you put in $1,000 into Shiba Inu and it became $10,000, you probably would have sold it all and been kicking yourself now. So you got to kind of take some of those, stories being like, oh, $100 could have been $1 million with a grain of salt, but it doesn't mean that you can't make money. There's a little bit of science to the art of trading these meme coins. We'll kind of cover my thoughts on that. We'll go over the charts. Quick word from our sponsors. This week's video is in partnership with Delta Exchange. So Delta is my new exchange partner. I'm really excited to be working with them. I'm just starting to get familiar with the platform and I'm really enjoying it so far. They have both Bitcoin and USD collateralized futures. You can obviously trade spot on there. They also have a quite robust option system. I love the interface of the exchange. The liquidity has been absolutely great, especially trading the majors for me. If you want to sign up, there is a link in the description with my name at the end of it. You get 10% off trading fees and you can get up to $10,000 in bonus deposit funds. So if you deposit a certain amount of money, it's a sliding scale. The more you deposit, the more free money you actually get to trade with. So highly suggest you check Delta out. All the info you need will be in the description of this video. Thank you so much for the Delta team. Looking forward to working together. This edition of the Altcoin Review is also in partnership with Radix. Radix is the first layer 1 protocol specifically built to serve DeFi. It is the only decentralized network where developers will be able to build quickly without the constant threat of exploits and hacks, and where every improvement gets rewarded and where scale will never be bottlenecked. So what does this mean? It means 10 times the productivity for developers, 100 times more secure for investors, and 1,000 times more scalable than any other decentralized network. Radix is DeFi done right, and you can check them out by clicking the link in the video description and following them on Twitter. I'll leave that in the description as well. It's at RADIXDLT. Their token is also trading on KuCoin. So if you have any questions about that, let me know in the chat. All the information you will need is below. So with all that fun stuff out of the way, let's talk about these meme coins. Let's talk about Dogecoin, Shiba Inu coin. I am of the mindset that these meme coins really have no functionality. They're not really used for anything. Dogecoin has unlimited supply. There's huge amounts of the supply held by a single wallet. It doesn't really have any use case. It was built as a meme. I mean, the guy who created Dogecoin and gave it all away said he made it in a few hours and it never really had a purpose. It was a joke. It doesn't mean that it can't go through market cycles. It can't pump and dump. And I find that these meme coins have a few things going for them. One, very strong communities. Two, the kind of meme and hype culture. People love memeing about Dogecoin. I mean, you got Elon Musk talking about Tesla accepting Dogecoin, making memes about it. And then you also have something called unit bias. So unit bias, an oversimplified explanation of it is that, if something looks cheap, a retail investor might be more interested in buying it. Like buying Ethereum versus Bitcoin, if you're looking at it from a unit bias perspective, well, Ethereum is cheaper, therefore that's the one I want to buy because it's easier to double 4,000 than it is to double 60,000. Well, the same goes for a lot of these meme tokens, specifically Shiba Inu and Doge. They're extremely cheap. So when you're saying, okay, well, I can buy 1 million of these Shiba Inu tokens for $1,000, and if it goes to $1, I'll be a millionaire. That is unit bias, and oftentimes I find that uninitiated investors, they download the Coinbase app, they see SHIB right in the title, they organize the available tokens by cheapest to most expensive, and all of a sudden they're saying, okay, well, this is cheap. All it has to do to make me a millionaire is go to $1. That sounds like a really good idea. So I think the way that you get into these tokens is a little bit different than just pure TA. I mean, I would still use TA, obviously, to figure out where my entry is and where my idea is wrong. But I truly do believe to kind of catch the hype behind these tokens, you have to do a little bit more kind of big brain thinking and think about when would be the optimal time for these types of tokens to go crazy. I mean, the Dogecoin run largely, I think, was initiated by Elon Musk. And then the fallout of Dogecoin pumping was coins like a literal clone of Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, getting picked up by that kind of retail frothiness and catching some of that hype cycle. SHIB getting added to Coinbase was huge. Once you heard that rumor, that's got to be the alarm bell going off. Okay, Bitcoin's near all-time high. Coinbase is the #1 app in the App Store. Retail might be coming back. This is a cheap coin. Dogecoin's going nuts. I want to put some money in this, or at least I want to be paying attention to it. That's the kind of stuff I think you have to do with these meme coins, is you got to try and identify these hype cycles and these trends relatively early, and then you can use TA to then get in and refine your entry. So I do think there's a little bit more than just pure TA, kind of having your finger on the pulse of what is retail doing, what is kind of the meme culture right now, and then obviously finally using the chart and saying, okay, well, you know, does this thing look like it's gonna move, and how can I actually get involved? All those things together, and you can make some money on these pump and dumps. I'm gonna kind of share with you guys the charts. What I'll be showing you on the charts is what I think these coins look like from a high time frame. Here's maybe some potential entries coming up, and here's some, you know, potential entries that there were previously that you maybe could have gotten in on, and how if you are invested in these coins, you can use TA to determine if the trend is continuing to go up, or we might be seeing a reversal and you might want to take some money off the table. Obviously, nothing I talk about here is financial advice. We're literally talking about coins named after dogs, so keep that in mind. Always do your own research. Never risk more than you're willing to lose. With all that out of the way, let's go over to the other camera. All right, squad, we're over at this camera now. So a couple things I've marked off on the chart. I'm just gonna cover what they are. They're kind of relevant dates, and they'll tie into the things that I was talking about in the first part of the video. And then we will talk about some actual TA on these things. You know, can you use TA on these types of charts? And you know, what my thoughts are for the, you know, kind of short and long-term future of these coins. So starting with Dogecoin here, a couple dates that I've marked off here. So April 14th, this is actually the day that Bitcoin topped. Something that you will often see with these kind of shit coins, I like to call them, the true shit coins. Like Ethereum is not a shit coin. You know, Solana is not really a shit coin, but you know, to me, Doge and Shiba Inu, those are shit coins. These kind of lower cap or, you know, shit coins often pump last. You may have seen this on Twitter before, right? You'll have BTC, then you'll have, you know, ETH and like some mid caps, and then the low caps pump last, right? Or shit coins as well, right? Shit. Just write shit here. You can kind of see that happen in previous cycles as well. Dogecoin has been around long enough where you can actually see, let's go back in time. Let's look at the 2017 market top. So you can see here, same idea, right? Last time the market topped, 2017, that bull run, right? Market topped in December, and then Dogecoin went on a big run. And you saw this across the board at the 60K top as well, right? If you go to the 60K top and then you mark out Ethereum, let's say, 60K top was April 14th, then we saw Ethereum run and a bunch of other altcoins run. So what does that mean for where we're at right now? I mean, hopefully we're not seeing a repeat of, you know, the top here. Bitcoin's going to top out, and then Ethereum's now making its move and outperforming. I think it's different this time. I could be wrong, but I personally think it's different. But what you will see is that order of operations that I explained there in terms of Bitcoin had its big run. Now that is moving to Ethereum. Now that's moving to, you know, some mid caps, then to these shit coins. So you can see your first signal for potentially wanting to get involved in some Dogecoin longs is when Bitcoin had its big run to 60K and then topped out. You want to start looking at mid caps and Ethereum, and then these lower caps and shit coins in terms of the order in which that they pump. You can see right here, right? There was your top on Bitcoin. And what happened from a TA perspective? Dogecoin is effectively in an uptrend leading up to this moment. No real explosive movement yet, but it's making higher highs, right? And higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and then boom. First parabolic move is when we take out effectively this high, right? So we take out that double top, then things start to get really crazy. So how do you get involved? I mean, there's a few things you can do. I mean, obviously this isn't an uptrend. You could have been longing this along the way, but during this time, Elon's talking about Doge, retail froth is at a maximum. Everything is starting to pump as Bitcoin slowed down its rally. Other things are starting to pump. And once you see this major break in market structure, it's now bullish. Now it's time to buy the dip. You do have to go generally to the pretty low time frame, I find, if you want to find entries on these things. The reason being is they often move very parabolic, so you're not really going to get setups on the daily chart. But on the 4 hour, on the hourly, that's where you're going to be able to get in with the trend. The trend is clearly up. Bitcoin tops, the rest of the market starts to pump, and then Dogecoin breaks a major high time frame market structure level. And to me, the entries that I see are here. First one I see is this one. So we have our big parabolic move, another big parabolic move. What do? You mark out the order block that led to the move up that broke market structure. Well, let's just mark out all the order blocks we see. Order block 1 here. This is actually order block 2 because there's actually an order block right here, right? And you could even mark this entire area. Say this is the down move, right? That led to the up move that broke market structure, or you can take the individual candle. There's your first entry. Market went up, failed to make a higher high, but this is still a very nice move. Drop down into that original consolidation. I don't know if you get an entry there, but you definitely want to be getting an entry when it breaks this level, right? So trade opportunity 1, potentially trade opportunity 2, but when you see that big shakeout and then a nice strong recovery, then a break in market structure, you're back to buying the dip. After that point, you need to be looking to buy the dip. Market structure is shifted bullish after breaking a low. There's the high that generated this low. Once that gets broken, market structure is bullish and you're looking to get long here on pullbacks. And until the market flips bearish, you can be longing this thing, trailing your stop up to previous swing lows. And then once a swing low goes like this, there's your high time frame break in market structure. I'm now no longer interested in Doge. So that's how I would analyze this from a TA perspective. The second red line here, which is kind of funny because literally we have our bullish break in market structure here. We have a nice fucking huge run up on Doge. This is the night that Elon talked about Doge on SNL. That's kind of peak euphoria, right? That's got to be the top. There is the day he was on SNL. Literally a couple days later, we break market structure and we've been going down ever since. That's kind of combining what I talked about earlier, right? The fundamental aspects and the kind of hype cycle, retail froth, Bitcoin's at 60K, and then combining it with TA to actually figure out how you can actually get in. I'm not the guy who bought Doge here and just held it forever. That's just not me. I know lots of people who bought Doge probably super early and sold well before any of this happened, being like, oh, if I would have just held, trust me, I had Doge back in 2016, 2017, that I sold way back then as well, right? It's very easy to say, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but likely most people are not holding for this entire thing. And then when it go, and imagine if you did buy here, if it got up here, why are you selling all of a sudden, right? You're like, oh, it's going higher. Doge going to $1. And then now you're giving it all back, right? So you can't really think like that. And I'm just kind of showing you how I would trade this as kind of a TA trader. The last line I have here is obviously we're in a major downtrend here throughout the summer. This is when Doge got added to Coinbase and we had a nice little rally, right? Talking about that unit bias thing, right? We're in a major downtrend. Coinbase adds Doge. What happens? All of a sudden, we run that low, boom, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And we have a nice little 2x here that occurs on Doge right after it gets listed to Coinbase. So again, using TA in combination with those things I talked about in the first part of the video in terms of how I would kind of look at Doge and coins like this. Where we're at right now, just kind of going sideways, meandering. I really think it depends what Bitcoin and stuff does before I want to make a decision on getting involved in some Dogecoin longs. Looking at it though from the high time frame, I mean, you got a low, a high, a higher low here. So if we can get above this 35-cent mark here, I'd be interested in getting long the Dogecoin, and I would target probably, you know, $1 or close to. Okay, so Shiba Inu here, we have two important dates. Here is the top of Bitcoin, and here is the day it got listed on Coinbase. So similar to Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin hype, Elon Musk is talking about it. This coin gets created, Bitcoin tops, that liquidity starts shifting into shit coins, and what happens? This thing makes its first big move to the upside at that point and starts trending up. I know this is an ugly chart. It's the Uniswap chart. The reason I'm using the Uniswap chart is I just want one that shows you the PA from when Bitcoin topped. Bitcoin topped, what happens? This thing starts to move. Higher highs, higher lows, right? And then obviously a big parabolic move here to the upside. Huge hype cycle. And then when Ethereum tops and most altcoin tops, this thing eats a, massive downside as well. So both on Doge and on Shiba Inu, one thing you do want to be aware is, Bitcoin dropped 50% from the high. Doge and Shiba are dropping 70 and 80% when they finally do crash. But again, something to pay attention to, tying in that fundamentals and timing to the TA. Gets Bitcoin tops, this thing starts trending up, has a major run. Maybe you caught some longs here. As soon as it broke this low, I mean, you want to get out. You probably want to get out earlier. I don't know if there was a low in there that might have been a little cleaner. Yeah, like this low. There's your low that makes the highest high. Once it loses that low, you want to get out. Major downtrend, 70% drawdown and a whole bunch of nothing. And of course, people are like, oh, if I would have just held my Shiba Inu, I'd be up, 1200%, or I'd be up, a crazy multiple, right? Some crazy multiple and turn thousands into millions or billions. Chances are they bought here and sold here, or they bought here and they sold here. The chances of someone buying here and holding to here and selling is very small. Combining the hype cycle, the timing, the fundamentals, right? Well, what happened? We got added to Coinbase here in September, and what happened? Price is literally in a massive downtrend after the big run up post Bitcoin, right? There's the massive drawdown going sideways, and then boom, added to Coinbase. What did we talk about? The unit bias, the timing of it, right? Bitcoin's starting to pump again, and this thing gets added to Coinbase, and look what literally happens. It makes a huge low, right? Runs all of this shit. Makes a huge low and then instantly starts making higher highs and higher lows. So if you're not getting in here, once this announcement happened, you want to be paying attention. And again, this thing started moving very parabolic, but it was essentially just a bull flag after a bull flag. Clear uptrend since the Coinbase edition. Bull flag, breakout, bull flag, breakout, bull flag, breakout. Here is kind of an order block sort of entry you probably could have had. Your order block that generated that big peak, this consolidation gave you a decent entry right there. And again, this is just making bullish market structure, and it's just about following the trend. The trend is up. It's making higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, and then it starts going parabolic again. And when this thing's going parabolic, you just want to be watching it on the low time frame and saying, okay, it's flagging, it broke out of the flag, made another move. Flagging, broke out of the flag, made another move. Flagging, broke out of the flag, and it's just following the trend until the trend evens out. Once the trend evens out, you want to say, okay, where's my key market structure? Maybe it's that low, definitely this low here. I would say these are your key lows to watch now on Shiba, right? I mean, it already lost that one, so it's kind of potentially flip bearish here, but if we lose this floor, this thing's gonna retrace a huge part of this parabolic move. But again, you can use TA on this. It's not as clean as doing TA on Bitcoin or Ethereum, for me at least, but you can combine TA, right, with that timing that I've been talking about. The fundamental news, adding to Coinbase. When did Bitcoin top? Is retail paying attention to this thing? I mean, retail getting the opportunity to buy SHIB on Coinbase, and Bitcoin's just starting to heat up again. And from the day that it got listed on Coinbase to the top, it did like a 10x, right? So a lot of these coins like these are driven a lot more on hype, meme, and momentum than they are purely on TA, but you can use TA a little bit to, get in and make some money along the way. I am by no means a master at trading into these coins, rotating into these coins at the right time. That's not my game, but hopefully what I've talked about here has helped. If it has, let me know in the comments, and for next week's video, make sure you leave some topics or coins that you want covered. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's the first video back from Dubai, so still getting the rust off a little bit, but hopefully it was informative to you. Hopefully you learned something. I just want to thank our partners for the video, Delta and Radix. If you got any questions about them, all the info's in the description of this video. As usual, we are on a mission. Our one mission is to take down BitBoy and take over crypto YouTube. So if you want to help me on that mission, please like the video, leave comments, subscribe to the channel, turn notification bells on, share my tweets, share the videos with other people. It really helps me out. As you guys know, I love doing this stuff, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So I will see you guys on Sunday with the next episode of Ethereum Chill. Talk to y'all then. Thanks.